Alright, so I recently unlocked the Platinum Trophy for both Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and with how much fun them two games were, it was only right that I went and platinumed Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. But seeing as how this is a prequel to Spider-Man 2, it probably would have been wise of me to get this one first, but oh well.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
So the story kicks off with Miles vibing off to some super hard music, which I obviously can't play due to copyright reasons, as he gets a call from Peter to help him out with a prison convoy. Basically, every villain from the previous game is headed back to prison, and the police needed help to make sure they actually arrived there, proving their complete and utter incompetence once again.
I don't know what I'm doing. Ah! Shit!
But then, even with the help of two Spider-Man, somehow things managed to go south, because it wouldn't be a Spider-Man game if the city didn't start exploding. The Rhino then escapes custody, as well as an awful lot of prisoners, and it's now up to Peter and Miles to stop them all, since the police seem to literally only be there just to be there, and don't actually do a single thing except tell you that you're not needed.
That's what I'm saying.
After beating up a couple of prisoners, a big chase takes place with Rhino, which earned me the first two trophies of the game, and a while later Peter gets absolutely destroyed by Rhino, but then somehow Miles manages to take him one-on-one, proving that Peter should probably retire and maybe try to find a job as a pizza delivery guy or something instead.
Pizza time.
Anyway, after beating him, we get introduced to the MCU's Mark Zuckerberg, who seems as shady as Harry from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
A while later, Peter lets Miles know he found that job at Domino's Pizza, so he won't be around for a while, and after gifting Miles a new suit, we get the third trophy of the game. So at this point, there wasn't really anything to do yet in the game, since it's just the start and you have to like discover stuff first, so I was just waiting around for the next main mission, and when I got it, it unlocked all these combat and stealth challenges, and to be honest, I didn't really have any method to get this platinum, like focus on the main story and leave everything else for the end, for example, so I kinda just went as I felt, honestly. So when it popped up, I kinda felt like doing them all right away, and that's how I unlocked the next couple of trophies, as well as 2 more trophies for crafting a couple of mods. And then, right after doing all of that, Uncle Aaron needed help to keep trains moving, since apparently the underground messed them up or whatever, so once again, instead of calling the police or security services like a normal person would, he decided to contact Spider-Man via an app made by 2 kids to fix it for him. Typical. Then continuing with the story, the underground seemed to have something against our friend Zuckerberg, because they decided to hijack a truck filled with new form which belongs to him and is like this weird energy thing that I've got no idea about. Then obviously Spider-Man intervened, because it's not morally correct to steal stuff unless you're stealing all the money that went into making The Amazing Spider-Man 2, in which case you're probably doing the world a favor. And then, cause he's dumb, he made the whole thing explode and the bridge was gonna collapse, but he made up for it by holding it together and saving everyone in the process. Then I was just getting a bunch of collectibles when a random trophy popped, and then after finding out that Finn was actually the Tinkerer, which was a total shock, and that Uncle Aaron was the Prowler, which was even more of a shock, we try to infiltrate a Roxxon facility to figure out why the underground are after Newform, and we do so with the help of Uncle Aaron. Turns out Newform was the thing that got Finn's brother killed and not her damn annoying self, and that's why she hates it so much. Then instead of straight up killing the girl, Miles decided to infiltrate her underground gang to find out her next moves and basically stop them before they happen. Almost like how Peter stopped Gwen from dying in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then we end up chasing her through the city after beating up a bunch of her guys, where I also managed to get a trophy for beating 100 enemies using Venom abilities, and then after catching her and revealing our identity to her in the most retarded way ever, we get another trophy. Then I quickly shut down all of the Roxxon labs while waiting for the next main mission and got a trophy for that, as well as one for killing 100 enemies using stealth, and quickly afterwards I shut down a conspiracy involving Kingpin even though he's in prison, which is kinda odd since I don't know how you're supposed to have Wi-Fi or a smart device available to you when you're locked up behind bars. Again with the main story, we then find out that the Prowler was actually working for Zuckerberg to try to protect Miles, but his plan didn't work out in the end because Zuckerberg decided to betray him and instead capture both Finn and Miles, who then escape right away because what else would they do, and they then get caught by Rhino, who appears to have been consuming some strange substances during this whole time. After another boss fight which consisted mostly of running straight at tanks, we get another trophy for defeating juiced up Rhino. Oh, and I also killed 50 enemies using remote mines to showcase my superior gaming skills.
You're not that guy. Okay.
Then, as I was headed to the next mission, I got kidnapped by who we later found out to be Uncle Aaron. We then get into another fight and unlock a trophy for showing him who's the man in the family. We were now entering the last part of the game, and we kick it all off with a little puzzle sequence to enter the building that Finn is planning on blowing up. Upon entering, we explore around and get a flashback sequence to Miles and Finn as young friends. This sequence is very important, however, because there's a trophy we needed to get in which we simply just have to beat Finn at a button mashing game, which should never be too hard since, yeah.
Women.
And also another trophy for simply playing that particular mission. Then, however, reality kicks back in as Finn tries to kill Miles and runs away, leaving us to fight her goons, and I did so while earning a trophy for defeating 50 enemies while camouflaged. We were now in the end game as Harlem was on the verge of exploding entirely, and we quickly needed to get there to stop Finn. Upon arriving there, we are greeted by tons of underground and Roxxon people trying to kill us, so I Venom jumped and Venom dashed one of them to get a trophy. Then finally we get to the final boss fight of the game against the Tinkerer, which was surprisingly annoying, and after beating her, her bipolar ass decides to turn back on the good side and help Miles. Then after almost getting him killed, she sacrifices herself to save him and all of Harlem. Oh, so nice of her. We then get a cool little scene with Peter after he got fired from his job, signaling the end of the story. Then as per usual, it was time for the cleanup, so I started by doing all the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app things and got a trophy for doing them all, as well as some other random trophy. Then I collected every postcard, which ended with a little cutscene where we see Miles' dad getting absolutely cooked by his son and got that trophy. Scrolled through the social feed since teenagers really are addicted to social media nowadays and quickly crafted 10 upgrades. Then I kept on going by collecting all the time capsules and sound samples left by Uncle Aaron, and also shut down all the underground hideouts, and also got 3 more random trophies while doing this. 1 for opening all the underground caches, 1 more for performing 25 wall takedowns, and finally 1 more for doing an enemy base without being detected. And finally got the trophy for 100%ing all districts. Then I thought all I'd have left would be some random little quick trophies until I found out I actually have to replay the whole thing on New Game Plus. So I did that, and it didn't really take me too long since this game is kinda short. I probably did it in like under 5 hours or something, and while doing it I also ceiling took down 25 enemies to get that particular trophy, and after finishing I quickly unlocked all suits and skills to get those 2 trophies as well. Then I went and did the Crime Master trophy, which was super annoying because it took me like a while to get all the objectives completed for each crime type, and quickly after I visited Miles' dad's grave to make sure he didn't escape or anything, and also visited Stan Lee's statue because he is indeed the GOAT. And finally I customized a picture whatever as my final trophy, and then the platinum trophy showed up, but for some reason my PlayStation didn't save the footage of the trophy actually popping, which is very strange and annoying, but don't worry, like I actually did get it, and here's proof if you don't believe me. So that's it for the Miles Morales platinum trophy, which I gotta say I would for sure recommend to anyone as it is a really fun game. Quite short though, as I did manage to platinum it in like under 15 hours only, but it's still quite fun.